Hey, how we doing, everybody?
Morning, everybody.
Joe here.
Kevin.
Marvelous Miss the marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah,
It's a
that's the one.
it's a tongue
That's the
twister,
one.
isn't
Why
it?
do we start with this one in the morning?
I know, right?
This is a delightful show, and I have not been let down in a single episode since we started the show, which is something you can't usually say. I don't feel
You
like there's
can't.
been like a throwaway episode, and I feel like a lot of
They haven't wasted any time.
no, I feel like a lot of serialized television shows.
Mhm.
This one long syncretic
Sure.
running story. You end up with throwaway episodes where
Yeah.
it's like filler episodes, bottle episodes that don't really add to the narrative. And I don't feel like we've had that with this. I feel like every episode's been pretty important.
They use their time pretty well. Yeah, every
Absolutely.
episode's pushing the story forward. And honestly, I kind of forget that we're in season 3.
Yeah, we're
For some
cranking
reason, it
right
still
along.
feels like
Yeah,
season 2, and it's like, wow, that's a real
right.
testament to the fact that we're like halfway through season 3 as well,
Yeah,
almost halfway.
and every season has been markedly different. Like it's all the same story. The narrative flow isn't broken. Stylistically, it's the same, but we've got a different kind of you know leg in Midge's journey all the way through, which I really enjoy, along with everybody else.
Yeah. Sorry, I hiccuped there for a second.
It happens to be all the time.
Coffee. But no, you're right, and I think the unique thing about this season 2 is the fact that we're on the road actually,
Right.
and we're seeing her with success because a lot of the fun of the first season and
Sure.
even a part of the second season is really seeing her rise.
Right.
And I like the trial and error. I love the montages of her in the clubs. That was really special for me.
Yeah.
But
Those
this is
stand out
cool.
too. Yeah.
This is really I like the use of location, the fact they actually go there. Sure, they
Right.
utilize CGI, but it's still really fun to see these big ballrooms and casinos
Yeah. The
and
the
costuming.
the set pieces are amazing on this show, time and time
The
again.
USO tour,
But yeah. Right.
fantastic.
Absolutely.
Blew us away from the first frame.
And we get something else here too, is we get kind of Midge away from everybody else, really,
Yeah,
and in a
yeah.
completely new element. It,
Has she had a scene with her parents yet?
just the very beginning where
That's
she
the
was
beginning,
leaving, yeah, where it was like, what clothes are you taking, and we're getting kicked out, and I think all
yeah.
that, kind of happened this season. But yeah, I really do feel like that this is a chance for character growth, which is
Mhm.
what good shows should do,
Oh, yeah.
and that you get Midge away from all of her safety net,
Mhm.
away from Joel, with the exception of last episode's disaster,
Yeah.
away from her parents, away from her kids, which is going to be trying for her,
Yeah.
right? It definitely is. But the chance to be around new people,
Yeah.
almost exclusively entertainers, and to really get a sense of who she is in that environment,
Sure.
which is good for all of us.
It's kind of like the, Empire Strikes Back structure.
Yeah, right.
Well, I hate to be that way, but it's Lawrence Kasdan.
Sure.
But it's a good screenwriting device where, like, you take your main characters, and in terms of a sequel, you kinda separate them,
Right.
and it's not a sequel, but it's the 3rd season, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So you have to do new things. I like that the characters are split up, and they all
Right.
have their own trial and error to go through.
The one thing I keep thinking back, though, I keep looking at the Wisemans and the Abels.
Yeah.
Wisemans and the Abels, the Wisemans and the Maisels.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say in English.
It's all tongue twister, isn't
Right.
it? Yeah.
Together, and I keep kind of coming back to, why doesn't either Abe or Rose
Get a job.
do something to bring an income to change the situation?
I know.
Is this just like limbo for them? Like they and their housekeeper Zelda are going to like in purgatory, and they're not going to make any effort to get out of it?
I think so, and, that's why I don't think we're done with the whole Oklahoma storyline and her brother.
For sure. I mean, that makes sense, right? Because it is her right.
Yeah.
She wasn't wrong to say that she should be on the board like every other member of the family. They put a 10-year-old boy on the board, for God's sake.
She was wrong for letting her pride win.
Right. I mean,
It's a bigger conversation to have down
Sure.
the road,
Right. Yeah, she needed the money, but the problem with it was, and I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the problem is taking the stand and saying that I don't want the money just makes them win, and you lose more. You know what I
So
mean?
much. Everybody wants money.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's like, so you just lost your percentage of the trust fund to these guys, basically rewarding them for their sexism.
Truly.
You know,
gave them what they wanted.
yeah, exactly. It's like, well, if you're not gonna let me be in charge, then I'm just gonna give you everything.
I like that she took the
Whoa.
picture with him. She takes the picture off the wall. She's like,
Right.
this would be.
Yeah, it's like, well, you need there are other things you absolutely needed,
Yeah.
and to be fair, she's only there because Abe's pride got in the way first.
I know.
Like,
He's
he
doing
blew
this
it.
whole beatnik kind of stance, the whole communism party thing.
Yeah,
Come on.
it is kind of funny that, like, Midge is, kind of looked down on by her parents a little bit.
Mhm.
Not as bad as I thought she would be, but a
Sure.
little bit for trying to find herself
Yeah.
and be her own person, her own independent person. While Abe is like, I'm going to quit both my jobs and become a beatnik and, topple the man. And like, are you doing anything differently besides the level of success Midge is enjoying?
How I read that too is those young kids that he's like talking with. I
Right.
just think they're trust fund college dropout babies, like because they don't have jobs either.
Oh no, they are definitely not strugglers,
That's what
right?
I'm saying.
When
Like
he's like,
they're not,
they're like, when do you want to do our sit-in? Well, I've got appointments scheduled
and they
all
all.
through.
I gotta go to the dentist. I gotta
Yeah,
go to this.
exactly. It's like there's a very real element in protest culture of people who are playing protester, right, slumming it or whatever, however you want to put it.
Yeah.
And I think that they're earnest people, of course, and I don't think these cats that he's hanging out with are those people, or they wouldn't be hanging out in a swank apartment bossing his maid
They
around.
think they're Jack Kerouac or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it's not.
no, they're playing revolutionary for
That's what
sure.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
It frustrates me, but it's really funny to watch it.
Absolutely, and which I think that just highlights the fact, though, that Abe is also just playing revolutionary.
It's him
and it's not
speaking to his
real.
younger self.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Right, it's a midlife crisis, and he's dragging these 20-year-old, frauds along with him.
These are the kids that end up in the big chill house 20 years later. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Holden Caulfield would call all of you a phony.
He would.
All right, we're going to welcome a couple of Patreon subscribers. Carrie, A Book I Will Never Write.
I like that one.
Cody Milton, Axel Jones, and Molly Levine. Thanks so much, guys. We're very happy you're here with us today.
We really, really are. And if you guys are watching us on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel.
Hello.
If you'd mind the like button for us, leave us a comment down below, and please hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we've coming your way.
Yeah, if you'd like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched or are watching, please check out the link in the description below to our, hiccups also, Patreon page. We just finished up Crazy Ex-Girlfriend and are starting The Good Place right now. We also are watching 30 Rock as a Patreon exclusive. So check it out. We have a lot of stuff going on. 2 good shows. Very much so. Let's see if I can talk today over coffee. Here.
Oh, this is the episode people have been talking about.
Oh, is it?
The one that Emmy for the cinematography.
Oh, nice.
Susie Myers, and buy yourself something pretty. We're here with the shy balls.
Why is she handing out money like that? I don't like that.
You don't have to tip everyone,
To be a big shot, you gotta act like a big shot.
I mean,
You have to have money to be a big shot. Yeah.
That chandelier.
I really hope this is a real hotel that still looks like this.
How are they doing this?
Look at the camera move here. Is it a drone? Because it went through doors.
It's got to be a crane.
Right.
It's
a good one.
Look how that. Yeah, it's got to be a crane.
There's a cut right there, but still.
Incredible.
From outside to all the way through the interior?
My guess is there's a cut when they go through the door.
Probably, right?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Fountain Room. We have you in a
Standard room, twin beds.
facing the ocean, not the pool.
Away from the elevator.
And the ice machine.
Near the cigarette machine.
And the emergency exit.
Did that feel... It was. Did that feel a little bit insufferable, though?
A little bit. Yeah, she's getting a big head there. Yeah.
I think Susie was even more so.
Oh, yeah. Well, Susie's got some money now. Shit, the Sophie Land money.
Right, yeah. That's true.
Yep.
My name is Judy Delta.
Zelda, what do you do?
My name
Watching
is
TV?
Delta.
But what are you wearing?
Clothes.
Is this that dating game thing where you had to like figure out which of the people is real?
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I'm talking about?
The one, like where the Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah, they lampooned it with that. Yeah.
No skurvisen!
I told you.
Yeah, don't bet against her. She's really good.
She's a gambler, right?
Can I have next Friday off?
Rose, why does that upset you? You're
Right.
living in your own home.
Right, that's true.
Oh, it's so good.
Look at that.
Every scene that has started so far has had a great shot.
It's true.
Just wear a leather jacket in Florida.
Yeah.
Nothing relax. It's boiling. It's humid. There's bugs and
Go up to the room then. That's what I feel like. Go up to the room. Yeah.
Susie, go in the pool. Cool off. You'll feel so much better. You should know how to swim, don't you?
No.
No chance. Yeah.
I don't know that she's ever worn a bathing suit.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We will be flying in planes, and if one of those planes goes down in the water, you are going to have to know how to swim.
oh, good. You found a way to make flying even worse.
If one of those planes goes down in the water, you're going to die.
Yeah. Create the illusion.
Right.
You jump! You're acting like a 4-year-old.
You're acting like a 4-year-old.
Just jump to me! You jump to me! No, you jump to me! Heck! Oh, do not let me go!
Oh my God.
What are you doing?
I'm coming for you. Stop it.
Oh, it's gonna
Seems like
happen.
something
Don't be
like dog.
ridiculous.
Right? Yeah. She does like doggy paddle
Yeah.
her. Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
Oh my God.
What's his face? The director hates me.
I don't believe that.
I haven't had anyone look at me that coldly since I had my mother deported.
What?
What a great line.
What did he do?
I wanted to sit on one of my lines, and he said, stand. Then he told me I had to wear a wig, so he obviously hates my hair.
Oh my god.
He said no to the nudity.
You were planning to memorize your lines anyway, weren't you?
Yes, but now I don't want to. I despise being told what to do.
You can't be an actor. Yeah.
I was just saying, be a director then.
Everything's flexible.
Sophie. The theater's been booked. The date's been announced. Money's changed hands. That's it.
He doesn't need to be with Midge. Midge has it together.
She doesn't need to be with Susie either. But if Susie wants her manager, I guess that's fair. Or Sophie, I mean.
Forget everything you know about a newspaper, Abe.
We're changing all the rules.
It's the 60s, man.
It's the 60s, man.
Where's the title? It's on the 4th page.
The fourth?
You have to care enough about the cause to find it.
Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, in about 5 years, these guys are going to sell out, go work for some kind of
Seriously. They're all going to be working for Sterling Cooper.
Yeah, say Don, yeah.
Abe, may I see you in the kitchen for a moment, please?
Abe, yeah, you need to stop having these little rallies in someone else's house.
Gotta kick these people out.
You're right.
All right, I'm down. What do you want?
Did you give Abe permission to have his friends over?
No.
You did too. Remember last night?
No.
We can't tell who's worse, the host or the guests.
That's what I'm
overall.
saying.
I feel like they're bad guests and they're bad hosts.
I would jump out of a window.
This is not a corporate sanitized proof paper. It's real, it's raw, it's ragged.
Spell does not mean real. Yeah.
In my day, we took things seriously. Yes, and then there was World War I.
God, he's not that old. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the 60s. He's probably alive during World War I, but he's probably a kid.
We're not done. I've had my fill of your negativity. Plus, my mother's gonna do my laundry.
Zach, there it is.
Yeah.
You're pretenders.
Your mother makes great chicken.
They spelled New York with a C. Vive la résistance.
They spelled New York with a C.
Maybe it's time that even Abe stops playing
He's got to,
revolutionary.
yeah.
Yeah.
Find a new crowd.
Right.
You're not going to die. You sure? Because I feel like I'm going to die. You'll be fine. It looks scary. Children are running from me. They do that anyway.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah.
You need to be strong. What are you talking about? Sophie is a bully. A bully only responds to other bullies.
That's how she got the job in the first place.
Yeah. She's bullied into it, really.
Right.
And you don't back down and you don't lie to me. You're tough. You're tough with me. You have to be tough with Sophie.
Yeah, Sophie's a diva. You have to keep in her place.
She's very much a diva.
Yeah. And it's unearned. She's in a new field.
Yeah. A life of privilege. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When you look at this face, all I want you to think is 你是世界上最美好的女孩。可是如果你要的话，
He told her that he got married.
I really doubt it.
Right.
Oh, so they're dating.
Oh yeah. Well, he said they were.
Yeah.
They
said it was new.
Right.
What did the plumber say?
working, studying, ooh, cancer, fun.
Yeah, she's a lot like Midge, isn't she?
Yeah.
Imogene's getting a little less tolerant about my time here. I bought her a new blender, but the novelty is wearing off.
Oh my god, so romantic.
I get you a blender, baby. Be gone for a couple days, but it's all good.
I'm gonna go down there tomorrow to appeal in person. Try the charm offense. So car, convertible or hardtop?
I see that she might have a way to help him.
She might.
She seems to know how everything's kind of wired around there.
She really does.
Yeah.
Too bad if she's like, no, you don't want a dishwasher.
Yeah.
You? And with such arms.
Miss Julie.
This is very
Yes,
exciting.
Monsieur Jean.
Attention.
I've seen that guy in so many things, so I can't name one off the top of my head.
I feel like he's been in some Coen Brothers movies, maybe. Maybe.
Don't you know that it is dangerous playing with fire?
Not for me. I am insured.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Really bad, yeah.
She's used to vaudeville.
Sophie?
Yes.
Serve and don't volley.
Susie, get up and tell him that she's not getting this direction.
She's playing Christine,
Who's Christine?
the third character in this three-person play.
Have you not read the script?
No one's listening to me. No one respects me.
Everyone respects.
Oh, really? Then where is my set?
How many actors have done this? You know what I mean?
That is not a door. That is more tape. I cannot open tape. I cannot feel tape in my hand.
She brought her butler with her.
I love it. I think it's so funny.
It's on brand.
He's dressed up and everything.
Yeah. Is she going to practice walking through a door so she remembers how to walk through a door?
Let's hope this works.
This is nuts. I wonder how many times, because you only hear about it on big ones, like halfway through movies when, like, when actors get fired, like, while they're during production. It happens a lot.
Harvey Keitel on Apocalypse Now.
Yeah. Eric Stoltz in Back to the Future.
Yeah, that's the big one, right? They
Yeah.
just shot what?
Look at 6 weeks. They
Yeah.
shot like 6 weeks of footage.
But just like this diva mentality of actors, like, I need a real set, you know?
Right.
Finally. You come from Jersey? You want to eat?
Somebody told us that she was in the West Wing.
Really?
Yeah. So that's the bass player.
Yeah.
I can't remember who she was though.
I'm sure the hair and the glasses and everything is throwing it way off.
You pay for all this on your per diem?
No. I charge it to Howard's room.
You're kidding.
For the last 3 years.
How much does Howard get paid if he's paying for all this room service?
That's what I'm saying, right? These trips are expensive.
Right.
Is he single?
I don't think so.
So you're divorced?
Yes.
Sorta.
It's not necessary. Keys are a good weapon. High heels are great, and they never see it coming. And most hotels have an on-site shoe repair.
Wow.
It's really dark.
The guy seems really sketchy, but I just gotta have some. I'll shove a matchbook cover in the door for an easier getaway.
I hope she's joking.
It gets lonely sometimes. A lot of people can't stick it out. They get worn down.
No, she's serious. Yeah.
On the other hand, you see the world. You answer to no one.
Imagine Midge with a gun.
No. She doesn't strike me as the kind of person to be threatening to shoot somebody.
Oh, God.
I thought he was playing with the little boy across the street.
Jimmy Jr.,
I don't know. The little boy across the street.
Petey Stritch.
I don't know.
I think basically the takeaway is these are 4 people that should not be hanging out together.
No. It's like the odd couples.
Seriously.
Oh, What would you like? I have chicken. I have peanut butter. I have peanut butter with jelly.
You know what, though? Again, the Maisels did this to themselves.
They did it themselves.
We have neighbors! And right now they're all looking at you like you're insane. And therefore they're looking at me like I'm insane because I live here with you in this house!
Everyone's staring at and fighting.
Maybe you should talk to someone. Now, normally I don't believe in psychiatry, but in your case, it might be a good idea.
I would agree with that.
Us?
Freddy's gonna stay for lunch.
Oh, what do you want? I got chicken,
Oh, no.
No.
jelly. I've got soup. I've got chicken soup, tomatoes.
Oh, Rose. Oh, no.
Go beg for your money.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going to Oklahoma.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Maybe I should just keep you company so no other man makes the mistake I just did.
I appreciate you wanting to be the savior of.
Lenny!
He's here.
What on earth are you doing here?
I am living here.
In Florida?
At some point, every Jew must live in Florida.
It's in the dark.
I heard Shai was in town, so I thought I would stop by and say hello. Hello. Goodbye. When I get back, we should grab a drink.
I would love that.
I will give you a
Sorry,
ring.
he got divorced then?
You don't think her and Lenny are going to...
No.
He does just kind of pop in and out, though, right?
Yeah,
He's
that's
this
great.
weird
Yeah.
specter on the show. I love it.
Rose,
Get in the cab, babe, right now.
where are we going?
Oklahoma, say it.
I'm hungry.
She's made stuffed cabbage.
Move over.
There it is. You can never find the man you used to be. So stop trying, Abe. You're not 20 anymore.
I know.
Yeah, the
Well,
staircase.
He should just write a book.
Get another job at another university. If you've worked at Columbia, you can get a job at another college. Just a less prestigious one.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Careful staring.
She did it with her hand.
I'm glad her Rachel Brosnan's career is really taken off.
Me too. Should be a lot of fun to meet. You know,
For sure.
Have a fan meet or something.
She is a talented person.
She'd be like, hello, and I'd be like, I love you. I mean, I love you. Oh, they're in Florida? What are they doing here?
Oh, it took me a second to register. Like, I thought we might have done a cut that I missed.
Are they going on the road too?
You can stay here. We'll have a mini family vacation and you can finally see my show.
Oh,
It's comedy or cabbage.
Rose.
Right?
There's the episode. Dang.
well, you better be funny.
There you go.
So she's got her parents there, but not her kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoever does the singing for him is good.
I know. It's very seamless too.
Yeah,
Like,
they do it well.
I'm trying to watch it closely to see if I can tell.
Like, sometimes you can. Like, George Clooney in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? You can tell that's not him singing.
That's a great example.
But
here, it's so seamless.
I have a work thing I have to do, but I was thinking, tag along. You might find it interesting.
it's possible.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's some chemistry.
Right.
They're both single. I mean, wow, look at that dress.
Yeah, she looks great, of course.
This is Midge Maisel. She's going to watch, yes?
Of course, tell them.
1 hour, then I'll feed you.
I wonder if she gets to keep the dresses.
I hope so.
I really
They're
think so.
definitely tailored for her.
We're clearly on the edge of your seat.
The intros towards the
Yeah.
then you're next. You sit here. We'll get you a drink. Later on, you'll be joined by Bella Abzug and
Camera work is amazing, isn't
blows
it?
my mind.
It's
man.
so seamless.
It's not overly showy too.
No,
It's a flex, but it's very, very
it's a
good.
flex, but it really fits with the narrative. You know what I mean? It's like the fluid chaos
Just
of everything that happens.
glides,
Yeah.
fluid chaos. It's a good way to put it.
2.
This is so cool, man.
Showbiz back in the day.
It's seriously.
Miami After Dark. That's cool.
Well, especially with the lack of CGI, where you actually had to be creative in how you did this stuff, how you stage things.
Everything.
Yeah.
The suits, the sets, the cigarettes,
Right.
the dresses. It's so good, man. Like, I love it.
It just feels so cool.
It does. Little snaps, yeah.
Yeah. With the pipe and the
Yeah.
and the cocktail. It's like Dean Martin used to do that.
Yeah. Trashed.
Girls, having fun?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was perfectly awkward.
This guy rocks.
I'm here with someone special tonight. Someone I love dearly, almost as much as I love myself.
Was he going to pull Midge into this?
Oh, is he?
Bri, I'd like you to meet my wife, or possibly my sister. What are you, my wife or my sister?
Depends on what state we're in.
This is a crazy shot.
This show would be so hard to put an episode together and just direct it and perform it.
This is what won that the Emmy right here. This is
Sure.
This
Look
is
at
it.
this. It's definitely a standout of a show that has a ton of standouts.
Yeah. I've got goosebumps right now.
Sometimes I feel like camera operators don't get enough credit for what they do.
They do not.
They're obviously they're following with DP's instructions, but
Yeah.
they're artists too. Like they have to have a feel of sense of timing and pace and everything as
Absolutely.
well.
A lot of camera ops go on to be famous DPs.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Honestly, sometimes I'll see a movie if I see who the DP is.
Oh yeah. These have to be handhelds, right? Rigs.
I mean,
some type of rig is being carried because we've gone 360 a couple times.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you unless you got a crane up, right?
You can do some missing cranes, dollies maybe.
Yeah.
That's not really likely. That's a dolly though.
No, dolly
Yeah.
have tracks.
Yeah.
I think you just have a Steadicam operator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely.
They're gonna hook up.
Yeah, at least thinking about it. Yeah, you're right. This is definitely the scene that garnered the award.
Yeah. That's it.
I honestly don't think I've ever seen a more beautifully photographed television show ever.
I'm stunned.
Yeah.
Really. Also, hats off to whoever is running this club. This is the coolest club.
It really is, isn't it? I kind of like the bars or whatever they are, the slats. They kind of force the flow of the action.
Yeah.
I really thought if we stayed long enough, there'd be a human sacrifice.
Oh, no, that's on Wednesdays.
Well, we'll just have to go back.
Anytime you like.
The use of color in this episode too is. Ugh.
I just assumed when you said you lived in Florida that you meant you had an apartment.
Even this shot's incredible.
You like a man who has a lease.
Depends on the man. Depends on the lease.
I'm paid up through Friday. Key.
The romantic tension is high.
I know.
So what did you think of my act?
I thought it was sensational.
Thank you.
It's gonna happen.
I'm gonna get a cab.
Oh. All right.
You know what? I honestly feel like if he didn't let the moment linger as long as it did, he could have said, "Look,
Yeah.
come on in."
I'm coming in.
Yeah, I mean, really, yeah. I think she talked herself out of it there. But
it's fine.
I'm kind of glad they did. Honestly, I like the relationship as it is.
Maybe someday. Before I'm dead.
It's a date.
Okay, so maybe at some point,
Maybe.
yeah. I kind of like them being friends, though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Not that they couldn't still be friends afterwards.
Sure.
but I like them.
It was great tension. Oh,
Right.
This is a sad shot.
Yeah, he's lonely.
He's a sad guy.
Yeah.
Lenny Bruce's real life story. Very sad. Also, that final shot to fade on Lenny's face. Like,
Yeah,
he's a very sad, complicated guy.
for sure.
Reading about Lenny Bruce after we started the show, um, yeah, I was very sad.
Oh,
Honestly,
yeah.
he had a lot of issues, a lot
Sure.
of addiction issues, and
He did have a lot of it. I knew that. I need to read up on more of him. Obviously, like, I don't know a whole lot about the history of stand-up comedy, but I've always kind of felt like the creator of modern stand-up
Yeah.
is Lenny Bruce. I get that there are people who know a lot more about the history of stand-up. They'll be like, no, Lenny is kind of building off of
it's an
other
evolution.
people, right? Of course, from vaudeville to stand-up.
Yeah.
And there are probably stages in between there, but I really do feel like that Lenny gets a lot of credit for kind of creating the stand-up comedy we have today,
Oh,
where
sure,
it's
yeah.
like this is the idea of like I'm not just entertaining, I am, but I'm also celebrating the idea of free speech while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And there's the idea that the freedom that people can say what's on their mind
Yeah.
in a free society, and I feel like Lenny really kind of ushered that in.
Yeah. He championed it for real.
I mean, like I said before, George Carlin gave a lot of credit.
Carlin's probably my favorite.
A lot of credit to Bruce, and there's that one crazy story. I can't remember what I was watching, where Bruce got arrested at one of his shows, and one of the fans in the crowd got arrested, arguing along with him, and they were in the car together, and it was George Carlin and him.
That's
a very young George Carlin. Yeah,
watching some of George Carlin's young material is also it's pretty weird to see because it's pre-beard,
sure,
but it still kind of looks like it's really interesting.
Also, another guy that 100% believed in free speech.
Love George Carlin, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm still a little struck by that one in the club. I think that might have been one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen on television. Honestly,
we were watching. It was so great as we were watching, and like, this shot is amazing. This shot is amazing. Is this the shot that people talk about?
Yeah.
For why this is such a great mark in cinematography.
Yeah.
And then you get to that one, it's like, oh, okay, okay,
yeah.
right.
Well, the way it starts with the Dutch angle up above, with behind the bars,
and it straightens up as the musicians kind of come down.
And the music is it's like it just touches your soul. It was so good.
And the DP and the director working together on that, because not only is the cameraman got to be perfect every second of that entire all the way through the thoroughfare there, right?
Yeah.
The cameraman's got to be on in what is clearly looks like a real space, right? Yeah. We're not on an open.
Nothing artificial.
Yeah, there's not a proscenium arch with a missing wall.
No.
Like, we're going in circles in what looks like just a real room.
Yeah.
But not only that, but from the director, all the actors who are in their moments have to be cognizant of where the camera is at all times too. Like I'm in my moment with Lenny, or I'm in my moment with this girl I'm at the bar with, or whatever. I'm walking my tray, playing my music, and I have to know where the camera is at all times and be aware of it, while not pulling myself out of the scene at all.
It's kind of like navigating yourself through a maze. Honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really is. Some of these sets are built a certain way to where it looks like it's smaller than it really is, because these things are freaking huge,
right,
with so much space. But dear Lord, that was fantastic.
It really was.
Oh my God, like I'm gonna rewatch that scene just
for sure.
Just that scene, because if I hope to God the director and the DP watch that and be like, oh, we got something.
Yeah, like, for sure.
I hope they pat themselves in the back big time, because I think you would know immediately after that.
I feel like the whole cast and crew gathered around on playbacks on that, just to be like, let's see how this looked. Oh my God.
And the whole episode, like it's such a good episode, because like I kind of forgot about the fact that this was the episode that won all these awards, because we obviously had the great one in the beginning, and just the movement of the camera throughout the episode,
all the way.
It was very subtle, and it's almost like it was teasing you.
Sure,
you're like, oh, something's coming. You know what I mean? Like, because the camera doesn't usually stand still in the show; it's always moving,
right?
Even if it is very subtly. And then we get to that was the big culmination. Holy cow!
And they are not afraid of wide shots on this show at all.
No, they're not.
I mean, going from the opening, almost kind of like the USO show at the beginning of the season, following Midge and Susie from the cab all the way into the hotel, and a broad sweeping shot of everything and everybody inside this beautiful hotel, to where the crane, I'm assuming that it's a crane, coming up so high for such high angle shots. It was impressive.
It's
all the way through that was impressive.
It's so underrated, this show, man. Like, obviously it won a ton of Emmys. People know about it, but like, why don't people talk about this like they talk about Game of Thrones or any of these other giant shows that are on HBO? Maybe it is because it is a streamer exclusively. Like, obviously those shows were on TV, so bigger audience maybe. But like,
it has to be. I feel like when you're talking about streaming services, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't feel like Amazon gets the same level of conversation as like Hulu or Netflix or HBO Max.
I would say
Max obviously get,
Sure. Amazon has the benefit to where if you have Prime, you have
Right.
Prime Video.
Right.
And a lot of people have Amazon, especially in the holidays.
Sure.
So, yeah, I would recommend this to anybody that has Amazon Prime. Like, go hop on your video on there and
Right.
find this show because it's incredible.
Well, it's the same thing with, like, you remember when we watched Fleabag?
Yeah,
That's an amazing show, but
Amazon show, yeah.
But no one around me was ever talking about it. I had 2 friends that watched it that recommended. It's like, you guys should really check out Fleabag. It's really good.
Yeah.
And obviously, eventually we did. But other than that, this wasn't Fleabag was on for 3 seasons, right? 2 seasons, sorry, 2 seasons. And it's nothing anybody really was buzzed about, and they should have been. And same thing with this.
Well, the smart ones are. People like
Right.
watch stuff that it's really good on TV.
Right.
They know. Not a lot of Joel this episode, but
did we see Joel at all?
We saw
him
in
in the club, right? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. After that set piece, it's like he kind of forgot about everything else.
Right. Yeah.
Rightfully so. Like, it's still just burned in my brain. That guy with the microphone just walking around the club singing,
and it sounded so good, and the lighting was so good. I mean, that was just this. Like I said this is probably the most beautifully photographed television series I've ever seen.
Well, that was also the way they portrayed intimacy in that.
Absolutely,
was fantastic without getting nasty. There's no sex or nudity, but I do want to shout out the writing real quick too, because you had that moment with her and the bass player in her hotel room where she talks about one night stands,
right?
And it sets up this like
lonely thing,
That, but also I want to say like almost like a sexual tension because it's like a will they, won't they,
right?
And I thought that was brilliant because it carried all the way out to the last shot where are they going to go in the hotel room,
right?
I loved that. I thought that was fantastic, and it added with the added layer of the almost Tarantino-esque revisionist history.
Sure.
What a show, man!
Right.
What a freaking show!
Well, and I like the fact that the lady, I can't remember her name, in the hotel room was talking of all the lonely life on the road. Either you're hooking up or you're lonely, and there's not really a third option.
Clearly, Lenny's
and right, and we end on Lenny, who's probably he's clearly done the road, probably for a decade longer than Mitch has, but at least. And that last shot on him, like showing how sad and lonely he is.
One final thought: Miami. Always a great shooting location.
For sure.
Miami always looks good in movies and TV.
Absolutely. And also want to shout out the fact that Sophie Lennon is a toddler. And I get that, like, she's fueled by her insecurities. A lot of artists are.
Yeah.
But my God,
it's rough,
right? You're the least capable person in the room. Stop acting like stop trying to flip that.
Do you like reading about actors from back in the day that are like difficult to work with?
Sometimes,
because Pacino apparently was a pain back in the day. I think there's some substance issues back then.
Sure,
tons of actors do that, and so getting to see that portrayed, I loved it. But at the same time, it's a little insufferable.
I feel like Dustin Hoffman. Had issues. I think a lot of the method actors.
Hoffman might have been the worst out of all of them.
Yeah, Hoffman had a reputation. I don't know how true it is, but I really feel like that there's a pretty famous story of Hoffman being almost impossible during Marathon Man, and Laurence Olivier being like,
"Just act.
What are you doing? Just act."
The worst is Kramer versus Kramer. He slapped Meryl Streep before his face.
Oh, I heard that. Yeah,
the scene where he throws the wine glass against the wall.
Yeah,
she didn't know that was coming. Just through the glass. So it happens. Or happened. I don't think it happens too much today.
No, yes, that ends up somebody ends up leaking that footage, and you end up fired. Ask Christian Bale how acting obnoxious on a set goes for you. I love this show. This is a show I'm going to go back and visit again when we're done. We're probably about halfway through the overall run of the show. Like, we're probably about the halfway mark we're halfway through the 3rd season now. So we probably are about halfway done with it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see where it goes. 2 episodes in a row without Sterling K. Brown's a bit of a bummer.
At least we have this episode, though.
But this was a wonderful episode.
Amazing.
We'll catch you in the next one, guys.
See ya.